You have a great business. You know it, your employees know it, and so do we. So how do we get everyone else to know it? And how can you do it cost-effectively? It's simple. Use EDDM. EDDM is a direct mail marketing program from the United States Postal Service named Every Door Direct Mail, and it allows you to get your message out for a fraction of the cost of a stamp. Here's how it works. Start by contacting your local Minuteman Press. We are your EDDM experts. Together, we will manage these important steps. First, set a budget that will give you the biggest ROI. Second, design a creative mail marketing piece with an awesome offer. Third, choose the best delivery routes based on demographics and geography. Fourth, print, bundle, and take your mail to the delivery post office. Fifth, manage a schedule for distribution using USPS mail carriers. 70% of people surveyed say that receiving mail is more personal than the internet. And 73% of consumers say they prefer direct mail for brand communication because they can read it at their convenience. With cost-effective EDDM, you can maximize your return on investment. Minuteman Press is your EDDM and direct mail experts. You know your business. We know how to promote it. We are the modern printing industry. Find your nearest Minuteman Press at minutemanpress.com.
Hey, good morning, guys, and welcome to the grounds with Giles, Jones, and Slagle. It's just us two today, just hanging out. So hope everyone had a great week. Thanks for tuning in.
We just got the one ad today, bud.
We got the one.
Yeah, we'll get other ones.
Fantastic. All right,
I'm just trying to play, and listen, how about the view? I mean, I want to give a shout out to our good friends over at OBSBot. You are viewing this on the Tail 2. The new Tail 2. It's revolutionizing live production with the OBSBot Tail 2's innovative PTZR lens design, offering seamless transitions between landscape and portrait modes. If you've got anything you want to do live, such as a podcast like this, like follow, subscribe, but thanks to our good friends over at OBSBot.
Wonderful.
How about that?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
I was wondering what that big old contraption was there.
Yeah,
They're getting into a new
It's
zone.
fancy looking.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice, and it's on one of the swivelly things, and it's really cool. We don't have it. I don't have it on right now, but it actually
The face tracking.
yeah, and gesture tracking. So we have it set for two people, so you guys are in there nice. But I could put on the AI tracking, so when Steve you talk, it would swing over to you, but sometimes we're all talking at the same time.
That thing would get so confused on our show.
Is that what
It
you
wouldn't know what way to turn.
Is that what you were using for two bald guys and a microphone for the last one?
No, that's over in our Johnsburg studio at Tom's Productions.
gotcha.
Of course, Tom's Productions, you think it, he'll ink it. Yeah, he's got 3 cameras there and a fader.
I thought of multiple cameras. I was like, it's nice.
Yeah, it
it's
is really nice,
because
yeah.
it feels like you're watching Sports Center.
Yeah, it's a little different. Yeah, it's
it's
kind of
good.
fun.
Two bald guys in Sports Center. I like it.
Well, it's never two guys. It's such a misnomer. And
Well, that's-
very rarely is everyone bald.
Right.
That's the whole problem I have with at the beginning. It's like, welcome to two bald guys and a microphone. I'm sitting here like this going, I'm trying not to be bald. You're killing me here.
So the only requirements are at least 2 people show up, and those 2 people are bald.
You have to have at least,
Everybody
there has to be at least 2 bald people, and then everyone else can come in. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm starting to bald, so I'm kind of like in the game, right? I'm starting to join a
Doesn't
club.
count.
What do you mean it doesn't count? They
Doesn't
didn't say completely bald.
No, it's not called 2 balding guys.
Oh, okay. Jesus, semantics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
So,
good one.
Good morning, Tim Santos. Good morning, Heather. How are you? Glad to
Yeah,
have
we
you.
can't see any of your guys' comments today, so Kent's going to have to read them off to us so we can respond to you guys. We
Say,
appreciate you guys tuning
please,
in.
Please turn the sound up. Maybe on your phone. I don't. We're pretty loud here.
We're having the technical difficulties today because we got this brand new camera, so then the TV had to shut down.
So anyway, OBSBot, no, there are no technical difficulties. The OBSBot is working great, and thank you so much for your sponsorship and partnership with us. Really, really appreciate that. Absolutely no technical difficulty with the OBSBot.
Oh, no, the
camera
TV.
at all.
The
Oh, yeah,
TV.
No, it has nothing to do with the brand new OBSBot camera, the Tail 2 that we have. Yeah, absolutely nothing.
So today, We don't have Kelsey here. It would have been nice to have Kelsey here.
Yeah, it
for
would
the
have.
topic.
It would have.
Because we were talking about parents and grandparents.
Right.
She brought this one up, so she must have had, as a single mom, I'm sure she's got some good.
Oh yeah.
good input.
Well, and then also Kelsey, had the experience of living with one of her grandparents.
Yeah.
So I did a little bit of looking into it because I've also lived with a grand. Do you ever live with a grandparent?
No.
How about you? Ever
Nope.
lived in the same house as a grandparent?
No.
It's more rare than I would have thought, but also becoming increasingly common.
Yeah.
Living in the home with the grandparent. 7 million Americans.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now there's a lot of children who are taking care of their parents, which are children my age in their mid to late 50s, taking care of their parents. I mean, just the cost of living and thing and community, and it's a way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, so 7 million people are living in the house with their grandparent, and out of the 7 million, it's about 2.5 million are responsible for being the primary caregiver for their grandchildren.
Yeah.
So,
Which is a hell of a responsibility. You already raised them once.
So it's a lot more heavily stacked in just a finance or taking care of the parent than
Right.
it is
Do
for
me
parents
do me
taking
a
care of
favor.
the
Just swing that mic around more towards your.
Turn a little
mouth.
bit there.
You go. Yeah.
grandparent. Just like this.
Yeah, that's much.
Yeah.
All right.
That's an interesting dynamic, because you go through, you raise your kids,
morning,
and
Shayna.
Morning,
you
Shayna.
think you're done, and then all of a sudden, it comes on. Your kids have kids, and then like with my daughter. I mean, I'm helping to raise my grandbabies, but they don't live with me. Just trying to help give my daughter, because my daughter is a single mom. So, go out, try to give them as much help. I don't think I could. I don't think
I don't think you're helping as much as I think you're the spoiling grandparent. I know you. I feel like you're the spoiling
No,
grandparent. I feel like you're buying that you're the sneaking the kid sweet
Nope.
treats.
No,
buying
and that's
toys.
not at all. I am not that. I am very frugal. Some people call me cheap, but that's not me. I'm not there to spoil them. I'm there to talk to them and have fun with them and enjoy, but not buy them things. Buying things is not my cup of tea for that, right? I don't think you need to buy them. Like, I feel a lot of people buy their stuff, kids to kind of win their love, if you will.
Well, it doesn't
That's
have
not
to be
me.
extravagant.
What? Well, right, but I mean, a lot of people just buy. For me, I just want to spend time with them,
Yeah.
and talk with them, and let them enjoy, and really be themselves instead of here's a toy, go sit in the corner.
So my mom
know?
never let me have fast food. And one of my best times that I can remember always going to my grandma's house, every time we would get KFC. Every single time. She'd call it the Colonels. You want to go down and get some Colonels? And I'd be like, yeah, let's go to the Colonels.
That's your special treat with
And
grandma.
yeah, every single time. And then when my dad would drop me back off with my mom, we'd get McDonald's big breakfast first.
Yeah.
And I'd get the big breakfast with the hotcakes.
Right.
And that was like the only time I was allowed it. So I always felt like that was extra special.
Grandma and grandpa live close by.
They lived in Maywood, Illinois.
Okay, so within an hour.
yeah, close
See,
to
my
the
my grandparents growing up were 6 hours away.
Okay.
So I got to see them 3 times a year, maybe 4 if we were lucky. Regular, just holidays and so on and so forth. And so that was tough. I didn't really know them as well as I would like to. I mean, everything they've told, great people. Never lived with us. My dad actually took care of them financially, not living with them, but as time went by, things got tough, and so he took care of them, helped them get a better house, and do that type of thing, but never like took care of them full time. I know quite a few people that are actually taking care of their parents right now, and
Yeah.
man, it's you finally think you've got a break after you raised your kids, and now it's my time for life, and then all of a sudden mom and dad step in. I mean, that's for me, family is everything. So how do you say no?
Shayna says that I just read 50% of retired parents provide 50% financial support. Can that even be? Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I
can
can think of a few
morning,
examples
Cap.
that I like just in real life, but I mean, I would know nothing of the overall statistics, but yeah, I can think of a few people where that's the case. Morning, Drew. How you doing, buddy?
There's a show on Netflix called The Blue Zones, Living in the Blue Zones, and the Blue Zones are the areas in the world where people live to be over 100 years old,
Yep.
right? And the one commonality in the blue zones is that family lives with family pretty much their entire being, right? Their entire time.
Yeah.
So I think there's a magic to that. And years and years ago, we may look at that and go, oh, the retired are providing 50% of the financials for these families. But it'd been like, oh, the lazy kids haven't got to, but now I think the world is changing. And people are living longer and understanding the importance of family, where I don't know if that's a bad thing. Now, the other thing that I'll say is this, is that probably most Americans are living outside of their means, right? I need the big 4,000 square foot home. I need the 4 cars. I need the this. I need the that. So they're probably living outside their means, and instead of adjusting down, mom and dad come and live. You put a nice little apartment in the basement or whatever, and they come and live and support.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
I'm all about family living together, but I get it. The world is tougher, and there is need for financial support. But for me, I mean, it's.
I believe in polyamory for paying bills only, not for the sexual stuff. I'll take 3 wives because that's more bills getting paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I always had that different
You
perspective
can
from
tell
your
you're
grandparents.
young. I've been married. You're how old?
Sorry, Sam can have 3 more husbands.
Yeah,
so he can
yeah.
pay them. You're right. That sounds like too much work.
You're how old?
Right.
I've been married, I think, as long as you've been alive, and let me tell you, one's enough, brother. Look, and
Especially if you got the right one.
and Alice will tell you she don't need 2 or 3 more of me. I'll tell you that right now. Absolutely. So, grandparents versus parent. So, Scott, you said something interesting. I'm going to swing back to. You said you're helping raise your grandkids. That was interesting. To me.
I mean, I'm helping my daughter to raise them. I'm helping assist her. I'm not putting in so much my 2 cents to them. I mean, we do discuss on how she feels it's best for her to raise them. And I try to I'm going to use the word try, which I don't normally say. I always say do, but I try to stick with what she wants. But sometimes, you do know a little bit more than your kids when they're coming up, and they might not see things because they're too close to the problem. So I do my best, and helping her. Being a single mom, I mean, being a parent isn't easy to begin with, but having to do that with 2 kids under 5, with dad not around all the time, he, sees them every once in a while, it gets very stressful, and you do need those breaks. And so I guess more for me, I will just go and give her breaks, like give her a couple hours, like, hey, babe, I got a little time. Let me come over, give you time to kind of go reset, to have some personal time to yourself. Because when you've got 2 young ones like that, you really have no time to yourself other than when you work. And, and she works from home, so the kids are still there. So she still has that stress level, if you will, of hearing the kids maybe whine or cry if dad's watching them, or if, we're over there or whatever. But I'll usually take them out of there to go over to my house. But I'm trying to assist, maybe not helping raise. I'm trying to assist in the manner in which she feels is best. And if there's things that in my eyes seem a little askew, I may, offer suggestions to her to help her.
Do you scold the kids? Your grandkids?
I don't know if I would say scold, but I definitely correct them, if they're not behaving. I mean, there has been a few times I've kind of raised my voice. I didn't feel like a good grandpa because I did, but they weren't listening. They were just being, I'm going to say little shits basically. But I definitely let them know what they're doing, if they're doing right or wrong.
So I've had the unique blessing to be a grandpa now for over a year, and
Which is awesome.
I get to spend a day a week with Jack. And I mean, if you're part of the kid's life, you are helping raise them, right? But Jack and I, I'm his grandpa, right? I'm Pops.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a routine, and it's play and do things, and I raised my kids, right? So now I get to just love unconditionally and be like, hey, let's eat what, so the other day, he's like, hey, are you hungry? He uses his sign language because he signs.
Which is awesome.
And I'm like, all right, how about some corn pops today? I don't know if his mom gives him corn pops. I don't give a shit. He liked it.
Yeah.
They didn't have an allergic reaction to it, so I'm like, corn pops are tops.
Right. Corn pops from Pops.
And I'm like, and then I'm like, hey, for lunch, I threw some lunch meat on his high chair, some cheese. some cheese balls. We love the cheese balls, right? I sounded like Trump there.
It sounds
The
really weird.
Cheese balls. I love
Cheese
the
balls. I love the cheese balls.
Everybody loves cheese balls.
And then some pretzels, you know, and then I put a scoop of peanut butter on his tray. And this little guy, you know, looks at me. I'm like, no. So I took one of the pretzels. I'm like, you dip your pretzel in it, man. It's pretzel and peanut butter. This is a joy. And then he reaches over. I mean, he's 14 months old. He reaches over and grabs the peanut butter in his hand.
Yep.
And then, you know, like he's washing his hands. Peanut butter. And of course, the dogs are excited. They're like, "Hey, drop those hands, brother."
Right. Let me lick that clean.
And so I just kind of look at him, and I'm like, "All right, fair enough."
Right.
Yeah, what do
Right.
you do?
Not ready for peanut butter and
Hey,
pretzels yet. All right, I get
It's
it.
good that you do that because it is tough, like to differentiate sometimes between being a grandparent and trying to parent, if you will. You know, I mean, I like to have fun with the kids. I don't want to reprimand them. I don't want to be the adult, so to speak. I want to have fun with them. I want to enjoy them. I love listening to their thought process and them talk and how they look at things.
Yeah.
You know, I don't necessarily give them junk, but I mean, I try to enjoy them. I have the kids minimum of 1 day a week. We do it on Mondays, but you know, I mean, I'll pop in for a couple hours here and there.
You know, but I don't talk to Jacob and Ashley and, hey, this is how you should be doing this. That's not my job. Look, I raised 4 kids. Each 4 were different, right? Each one was different. And you know, when Spencer was born, I was 25. I was a kid. I didn't know any better. And so I had to learn the hard way. Nobody gives you a manual, right?
No.
Now we're there for our Jacob and Ashley, absolutely. But at the same time, I'm like, no, you know, this is you. Yeah, life changes. You got a kid now.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Right.
Yep.
And you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to try to figure it out because you don't know what to do. And so I enjoy being pops and just be like, yep, all right, come on, buddy, I'll play with you and whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And have a good time, and you know, as he grows, you know, we'll go fishing, do whatever, golf, I don't know, whatever it is.
Well, if you see like they're struggling with something with the kid, I mean, granted at 14 months,
No.
I mean,
No,
you
I'm
don't
not
you don't
talking
even
about-
you don't even chat with them at all just to
No,
see
give
how
me
it's
an
going.
idea.
No.
Give me an idea. Give me a for instance.
Yeah, I don't know. Hitting. The kids constantly, let's say hitting, you know, swinging and hitting people.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't know. I haven't.
Right, and that's- I'm trying to-
He's 14 months, so it'd
Right.
be tough for me to answer that.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's one of
But-
those things that if you just see something that you know your daughter's struggling with,
Right,
you know,
but here's the deal.
this is what worked for me.
Here's the deal. Jacob is a doctor, a physician, and she's a clinical psychologist.
Yeah.
I mean, in that case, whatever.
Yeah, but they're not. They're just fresh parents. They haven't learned that yet. They're learning it, and to help them learn.
She studied it. It's all.
But
it's your
what's-
kid. Whatever.
Yeah, but what's written in books isn't always reality in life. I
Well-
mean,
well, no,
there's
but I
certain
mean-
ideas that you can follow, and you know, certain trains of thought that you can follow and help to
and
raise.
I would probably say something like this. Yep, been through that 4 times. Figure it out. Hey, you guys didn't turn out too bad, did you? No.
Right.
None of you are in prison. Okay. Didn't
Well,
kill anybody. Okay.
right.
Figure it out.
Right. And-
It's not my place, right? It's
Right.
not my kid.
No.
Right.
You know, and God knows the way that I raised my kids probably weren't right. It's just the truth.
But it's what you did. It's what you knew at the time, right?
Because I didn't know,
Right.
right? And so guess what? Why do I, you know, now that they're adults and I can look at them and be very, very proud and go, we did okay, Alice. These kids are
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
right?
That they turned out fine.
That
Now you have faith that they're going to raise kids fine.
Yeah. Yep. You know, and you know, if Jack falls down, I'll be there to help pick him up. But you know, if you know, whatever, you gotta figure that shit out. I don't give them marital advice,
Oh God, no.
You know.
right?
Well,
Why
no,
am I
you're
gonna give
right.
them parenting advice.
Well, I'm not parenting advice, but if they're struggling with something, like this is what worked for me, times are different. It's just giving people options, really. I don't tell her what to do, and I don't say she's doing anything wrong. But if she comes to me
Hey,
and
George.
says I'm struggling, or you know I'm having an issue with this, you know, we'll sit down and have a basic conversation. I'm never going to tell anybody what to do, but you know, just like in the regular world or in business, hey, this is what I did, and this is what worked for me. You know, you might need to adapt that because your kids are different and the world is different, but there's a general premise that you start with, and trying to figure out what your ultimate goal is, I guess, with whatever parenting strategy you're using.
And I think we're using the word, we're using the word raise, and it depends on how you're looking at
Teach.
it, right? Because like babysitting a kid in some forms is
Is
raising,
raising.
but in other forms you wouldn't, you're like, oh, you're not raising my kid, I'm raising my kid. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
So
right.
it depends
Yeah.
on how you're looking at it. But if you do look at it from the grander perspective, like I do, it takes a village, right?
Absolutely.
So everybody, like Shayna said, everybody who interacts with that child in that child's life is raising that child.
I would like to think that we're a little more progressed, and it takes a suburban neighborhood.
It's going to be politically correct, huh? Okay.
A little racist, but hey, a white suburban.
Takes a
neighborhood.
white village to
A
raise a
cul-de-sac. Takes a nice cul-de-sac on the east side. I'm sorry.
And what my mom said, that's 100% true. So
Yeah,
when I was a kid, we did like raisin bran, and she cut up a banana, and everything was tried to remain healthy. And my mom did Weight Watchers a bunch when I was a kid, and she like led a team, and she tried to watch what she ate. And my grandmother, and I wish Drew was here for this one, because my grandma, 100% Italian, food is love. So
Yeah, no
she-
doubt.
So she literally would call it child abuse. Like she would go so far as to be like, "That's abuse. You have to let him have candy and sugar." And my mom's like, "No, he gets it enough at your house." And I would put on like 10 as a child. I'd put on like 10 pounds
Over the
in
weekend.
2 weeks at my grandma's house.
He's eating nothing but garbage.
And my mom would be like, "Holy crap!" But it would. At any point we would have dinner. We'd go to watch TV. My grandma would be like, "You want a snack?" We'd go back in the kitchen. All right, we're getting ready for bed. You want a snack before bed? Yeah.
I
let's
think
back
that was a
into the
lot
kitchen.
of. I think
Like,
that's a lot of grandparents, though, right? I've only got the kid for a few hours. I'm going to spoil the shit out of him. I'm going to send him back to mom and dad all hopped up
yeah,
because I can.
Grandma's fridge always had the good stuff in it.
Yeah, so
I don't do that.
So my grandparents, my mom's mom and dad, were very influential in my life, and I absolutely loved them. Right, and they were the quintessential Swedish. Hey, come over. Hey, you want a drink? Here, let's get you a drink. I don't care what time it is. Here's a beer. Right.
Yeah.
And very open, and would have the neighbors over and play cards and games, and that was back in the days.
Good old days.
Yeah, right.
When neighbors hung out with
Yeah.
each other.
And they had a cottage on a lake, so we could go fishing. I mean, right? My dad's mom and dad. My Grandpa Jones, he was an entrepreneur. He owned a few grocery stores, in Lansing. But they were like Alice and I, and their kids were 15. I mean, from the oldest to the youngest, were a lot of years apart. To the point where I think my Uncle Mark is only like 6 years older than my oldest brother, right? So my grandmother on that side didn't want to be, she was too young
Yeah.
to be a grandmother because she still had a kid, right?
Right.
And so, and she's, good old German,
Yeah.
and it was a lot different of a feel at their house because and I didn't understand it, but I'll tell you this: having a couple kids in their 30s and my baby being 16, almost 17, I get it, right? I was like, I still got had Ashley or Spencer had a kid 5 years ago.
Oh my God!
When
yeah.
Lucy was 10 or 11, I might have felt the same way. I'm a firm believer in, God gives it to you in the right timing, which I'm absolutely, I love being Jack's pops, right? But at the same time, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I kind of get that. As growing up as a kid, I kind of neglected that, and she was one of the good old German gal, God rest her soul, but
Would be tough.
If you stepped out of line, you knew it.
That would be a tough one, too, if you think about it, because you're kind of trying to live in two different stages of life, a parent and a grandparent at the same time, and it's
I'm doing
different, right? I mean, well, my kids are grown, but I mean, I'm still a parent to them if they come to me. I don't tell them what to do.
Let them out of the hen house a little
Yeah.
bit there. Get your wings off them there, Pop.
Right. I don't tell them what to do, but if they come, like my daughter
Let me help
asking
you
me
out with your parenting.
Yeah. No, I won't do that. I won't do that. But if they come to me with questions, and I'm never going to tell her that whatever she's doing, or anybody for that matter, it's wrong. That's how they choose to raise their family. That's their decision, right?
Right.
Who am I to say? Because I mean, I know I screwed my kids up raising them. I mean, I didn't do it 100% right. I did it on, I did it on the fly with my wife. We learned, we've changed, we've adapted,
Yeah.
and that's, and we were able to do that because of just, I'm going to say, basic conversations with like my parents, or more. Yeah, my parents. Her parents really never talked about it. Her parents weren't great, but just getting their idea, going, oh, what did you do?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, well, that doesn't work for me because my kids don't, or it just the time doesn't allow for it, or society doesn't allow for that anymore.
Yeah.
Just so you can have another perspective on how things are done. It's ever changing.
You spend a lot of time with your grandparents?
Yeah, so growing up, I mean, in the 70s, 80s, you were at their house every week or
Okay,
weekend.
yeah.
Which would have
Right.
been great, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we all went to the same church. My Jones, on the Jones side, they were Methodist, but we weren't. So, but after church, we would go, every other Sunday or whatever. On the weekends, you'd hang out with your cousins. I mean, it was a big thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way it was. But, that's the
Right.
way my family was. You hang out with your cousins.
Oh, I love, yeah. When we did there,
every weekend. Every
when we
week.
went down there, I loved it because I mean, we've got over 300
Yeah.
now. But it would get together, and it was just everything was so fun and innocent,
Well,
right? You didn't
everybody-
see real life.
Well, everybody was in the same, within spitting distance of each other. Now, the world is so small now. Everybody spread.
Yeah. Well, my mom,
you know.
my mom had nine kids in the family. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So you go down there, it was just like, you
Yeah.
do whatever you want. The parents are like, just get out of here.
Yeah.
Go run through the cornfields, go down to,
I mean, to the point where
The river.
to the point where my family, Alice and our kids, we'll still go to my cousin's place up in the UP once a year, and hang out
awesome.
with them and love them, and it's just cool.
So we still do what are called cousins parties. I haven't gone to one in a bit, but
that sounds a little illegal to me. Cousin party.
so,
Is that just a better way of saying incest?
my great grandma.
It's a cousin party.
My great grandma Teresina DeRose, the matriarch of the family, right?
Yeah.
So she has 12 kids. 12 kids. They move from Italy. They come to America. This huge family, right?
Yeah.
They all get married, and they all have 5 kids minimum. My grandma's the only exception. She only had my dad. So I'm the only part of the branch of the family that's just me left.
Yeah.
So everybody else, though, so many kids. I mean, I have just from Teresina DeRose, I have 136 cousins. So
Busy lady.
So like, yeah, I get to the point where people are like, we're related, and I'm like, I don't really care. Like, it's not anything against you. It's just like, so is the
Right.
guy that did my groceries. I didn't say hi to him because God, what I'm supposed to say hi to everybody I'm related
I
to
love,
now? This is
I love, I
crazy.
love you said that because whenever we go down for a wedding with mine, I tell my son, be like, no matter who you talk to or who you want to dance with or hit on, you have to find out who their parents are.
That's right.
Because I'm telling you, in here, you're probably related to 75% of these people in one way, shape, or form. And he's always like, damn it.
Keep it in your pants, or just enjoy it.
Enjoy it. Don't tell me.
Anyway,
No, I was very fortunate that I got to. My grandmother on my dad's side was one of the most loving human beings on the planet. I got to spend most summers with her. We were very, very close.
Yeah.
And so I was fortunate in that regard. Sam wasn't super close with her grandparents, and her experience wasn't necessarily great. My mom's mom. So my mom was a little bit older. So her dad passed in '88. I only knew him for a very brief amount of time before he passed.
Yeah.
Her mom passed in 2006, so I was out of high school. But I didn't really know my mom's mom. We lived with her, but she had like very slow moving dementia for like the better part of 12 years.
Yeah.
And so we lived with her, but it wasn't really her, but like we spent so much time together. I mean,
Well, I'm like a puppy for Jack, right? It's just unconditional love. I love to see him. I love to spend time with him. And then you go home. So, I understand where a lot of parents are like, oh, you're spoiling him. No, the deal is this, is when you're raising a kid, you're responsible for that kid. So there's a lot of stress and pressure and things, and you don't know what's happening. You do the best you can. As a grandparent, all I got to do is give this little guy unconditional love. right? Like a puppy. I'm happy to see him. He's happy to see me. We spend time together. Away you go.
Yeah.
Right. And when we come back again, my tail is wagging, and I'm like, I'm so happy to see you, and he's so happy to see me. And it's just, it's a different thing, and that's our reward for not killing our own. Right. Is to say, I get it now. Right. And it's not that I think, it's just like, I would have different pressure if he lived with us 24/7.
Oh, absolutely.
But they
It'd be
don't,
hard not to
right?
parent them if they live with you.
But if I was, in Kelsey's place or your place, if I'm being raised, my whole if something were to happen and I had to raise him, my unconditional love changes at that point, and it goes from a grandparent to a parent's perspective.
Right.
So, as you look at it, as I look at it, I should say, I think that depending on the role that you're in, right? I'm excited to spend Mondays with him. I think it's cool. I'm happy that I'm in a place in life where I can do that.
Yeah.
And, and it's fun, but again, if he was like this past Monday, he was like, or Tuesday, he was like, I don't feel like taking a nap and he's restless, whatever. So I was like, don't want to take a nap? Cool. But if it was my kid, I'd be like, lay your ass down, take it, you know what I mean? Hey, we're turning lights off. You're going to take it out. I was like, whatever, buddy. Cool. We'll sit here and watch Bluey or
So
play.
you're
or
doing
whatever.
that. You're doing that because you don't want to reprimand him because you want to be pops, right? So you're not
No.
telling him what to
No,
do. You
I
just
think
want to let
that's
him
a
be himself.
reflection on how you would raise a kid now in your life.
Correct.
If you had a kid.
Correct. Yeah, it's what I've learned, right? He's like,
Not going to fight him.
No, and guess what? And you know what I said? I go, well, when I got to drive him back to Libertyville to drop him off with his mom, guess what? As soon as that car engine starts, he's going to fall asleep. And guess what he did?
Oh,
He
yeah.
was out.
Right.
He was out before I got out the driveway. And that's from experience, to Steve's point. And
Right.
And it was, you're going to be tired. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm like, if you're grouchy, I don't give a shit because you're going to be with your mom. Whatever, right? But he did. He fell out. He slept, he slept. He'll usually go down for an hour to an hour and a half with me. So he slept the whole 45-minute trip and then some, because she wasn't out right away. So, it is what it is. And
Right.
yeah, that comes from 4 kids and a lot of errors. But instead of just going, okay, well, I get it. You're going to be grouchy tonight because you didn't take a nap, but I'm not going to force you. How many times did I get mad at my kids? Quiet down out there. You got to be asleep 10 minutes or I'm coming in there to whoop your ass.
Yeah, that worked well, right?
Hey,
Now with the grandkid, it's like, yeah, whatever. Because with that, you think about it, you've only got a limited time with him. So do you want to spend that arguing with him, fighting with him? No, he's there. Have fun, enjoy it.
He's 14 months. Everybody's like, ooh, they love the little package, and then the terrible twos. I'm like, look, he's 14 months old. He argues because they're just blah blah. You can't understand a word they say. They argue with you on everything, and they walk around like a drunk uncle.
Oh, wait till he can start talking to you and things, and he's doing things that are definitely wrong, and you need to at least let him explain to him maybe why he shouldn't do it around pops. You want to do that at mom's house, that's fine, but not at pop's house.
Well, I just I'm pops.
You have to adapt. You have to adapt to it as it comes at you because things are ever changing.
Again, I'm not there yet, right? I mean,
Right, that's why I'm saying it's. Believe me, I mean the first year and a half, especially the first year, it's just like, oh, you're just loving on this little bundle of joy, right?
I hate them at those. They're just a bag of rice.
Yeah.
I hate them. And then they shit on you. Whatever.
Honey needs a diaper change.
I like them now. I like them now when they got personality and can
Yep.
kind of play by themselves and take care of themselves, and you can laugh with them. And
Yeah, well now, and I'm lucky enough to where both my grandkids, even my little 3-year-old, he rides a 2-wheeler by himself already. Hey, there he is. Good morning, Cappuccino.
You guys started without me.
Careful, we did. We couldn't wait for you.
Move that green screen back.
We couldn't wait.
You're throwing away the magic.
Throwing away the
He
man.
wasn't so damn fat.
Right.
I
I'm
wouldn't
sorry,
have
man.
been around him.
Steve, you are pretty hot and tempting.
No, it doesn't work.
We've tried it 16 times, and
it's not reading the HDMI.
yeah. So
The jumbotron.
yeah, see, she no worky. So we're just relying on Kent throwing us the information. What's up, buddy? How are you?
So let's,
Yeah, but I love now that Kent did.
This is a great time.
Teach you how to make stronger coffee.
This is a great time for this.
in the back.
loves Creative Minds, and it is. She's got great
guess we're done with the
quality.
commercial.
She's got great. She's got great concepts and artistry and whatever.
She uses good quality,
Yeah.
shirts and her
Really good.
apparel is really quality. It's soft. It's not that garbage. She's got some really good ideas and it's a good
Everybody,
person.
Look who just came in. Father of the Year.
Hey, Father of the Year and an Italian.
I don't know about that.
Food is love.
But I can say this. So I'm watching the shows. I'm on the road. And the one.
Thanks for watching the show instead of the road.
The one,
Yeah, I was
the
gonna
one-
say, wait,
the one
take that
thing-
back.
Who could blame him?
Yeah, that's right.
Such an
The one-
enticing show.
The one thing that I could truly say is everybody in this room is like family. If you see my kid doing something stupid and don't discipline my kid, I might punch you in the face.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? I mean, listen, there's guidance, and I think my father-in-law is a really good grandfather. He's a good no-no, right? He's an Italian grandfather. He'll look at the grandkids when they're doing something wrong and sit at the table and go, "If I was your father, I'd whoop your ass right now."
And then they
And they're
they
just
straighten
like,
up.
You know? And then maybe he'll go to the son and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" You know?
Hey, what's wrong with you?
Hey, you raise your kid how you want to raise him, but if I see him do that,
Right.
and not in front of
Not in my
grandpa, he's
house,
doing
right?
that. Right.
Right.
So I think there's a limit.
If I'm
There is, and
if
it's
I'm
a hard time to
grandparent,
keep-
Maybe, but I'm not my best friend. I've known his kids since they were this tall. Okay, I would if I disciplined them, they would laugh at me.
They're 20 years old because they're midgets.
Well, they weren't. Now one of them is. Yeah,
A midget?
yeah, it's unfortunate.
weird.
So, but no, if I tried to discipline either of them, they would one laugh at me, and two, I would feel like that was so far beyond my place. And I've known them their entire lives. They can't remember a time when I wasn't Uncle Steve.
Yeah,
and that's just it's not my place.
Yeah,
it's his
that's a
place.
little-
I will bring it up to him,
So
and I
let
would
me-
be
let
like,
me
hey,
ask-
your kid said something weird.
Right.
I don't know how you guys want to
Are
address
you
that.
going to walk up to him later and be like, "Hey, I just watched your kid put a fork in an outlet," or are you going to stop him from doing it?
I mean,
Good point.
that's a good show. And
Depends.
it's not, and again, like
That's a whole show.
that's a learning experience. So for my kid, I'm stopping my kid, right? Because that's my job. For another person's kid, it's like,
Steve's
let's see what happens.
No.
Steve's like this. Steve's like, hey, take these two wires. Don't ruin the silverware. Let's.
See, now that one I totally agree because we
Use this
believe
one.
in
Don't use the good china.
we believe in natural. Well, we believe in natural consequences, right? But that is not one you want the kid to find out on their own, right? Now, eating mud, natural consequence. Laugh at him, be like, "Yeah, I did that same shit. I learned." You know what I mean?
Right.
But sticking a knife in an outlet,
So, but the
I would definitely say something, friend or not.
back in the 70s and 80s, I mean, if you stepped out and the neighbor called, your parents are like, "All right, bust his ass, and I'm coming down to get him."
Oh yeah,
100%,
absolutely.
yeah.
That was our whole neighborhood.
So not only did you get the physical abuse, but from it's not abuse. Not only did you get hit by your neighbor.
Oh, yeah.
Then you got the mental frustration of, oh shit, dad's on his way down.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I've gotten
That
the
was the worst part.
I've gotten a phone call where they told my father to start without him.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a sign of the times too.
Start with
because-
"I'll be down there shortly."
Because 100% out of necessity, that makes sense. But like, especially, and I think the difference in the perspective is just that anybody I need, like if I'm watching your kid or if I'm around your kid, you are 10 seconds away via phone call, text message, whatever, at any time. So I don't need to discipline your kid. If there's something grievous enough, and like, yes, if they got a fork, they're heading to the outlet, I can be like, hold off a sec, I'm gonna call your dad, see what he thinks about it. That's the most I'm willing to do.
Dad, you want to let your kid light himself up? See, now to me, that's a no-brainer.
Right, because then, you tell him to stop. You call, be like, hey, do you want to talk to him? Like, that's fine. Now, if he was to come
But
back
that
for
has
some
dire
reason and be like, you
consequences.
handle
Yeah,
it,
that's
then that's
too
a different
much.
That's too
scenario.
much. That has
too
dire
much.
consequences. You have to
I
use your
understand-
common
I
sense on that one. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
You don't want to
That-
overstep these parents'
Well,
bounds
also
and
because-
how they want to raise their
Because
kids.
you're assuming that you lecture the kid, that kid's going to learn something from you. That kid is not going to learn anything from you.
No,
you are
but
not
might
that
be
kid's
saving
parent.
that kid's life
You,
by stopping
you,
them from
you
doing
could.
it.
Yeah,
You're opening the
certainly.
kids' eyes up
That's
to
my
options.
cocaine.
Right.
Get away from that.
Yeah, right.
Don't eat my gummies.
But you're giving them the options. They're looking at it, and if they use it or not, it's a different story. But you have a common goal, I guess, as family, right? To let the kids have a good life and be raised. I'm going to use air quotes properly, whatever, or normally,
So
right?
here's the thing: if I see your kid going toward a light socket with a fork, I got a bigger problem with you than I do with the kid.
Wow.
Where now you and
What
I
if
are
they
gonna
saw
have
it
a
on TV?
conversation.
I'm not gonna.
Right.
What if
Now
my
you
kids
and I are
see
gonna
me
have
go?
a conversation about why is your kid dumb enough to take a fucking course?
Because he
and put it
is,
in the
obviously.
science?
Kids just do stupid
Kids
shit.
just do
Steve.
stupid
They just
shit.
do.
Jesus.
That's not necessarily the
Steve,
parents'
wait till
fault.
you have kids, man.
It's a new world, brother.
You'll
It's a new world.
understand.
Years and years ago,
It's a different
I was,
thought process.
Years and years ago, I was with a girl, and she had a kid very early. We dated, and I raised her kid from the age of 3 to 8 years old. And so I went through the better part of the enrolling in school period, the learning to talk, learning to tie shoes period. I went through the better part of the young
So you got
young
some
girl's
experience.
child experience. What?
So you got some experience.
A little bit of experience in the situation, yeah.
Do you feel like you're really connected with that kid?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm just asking because
No,
there's a
no,
different
I
bond
think-
between
I think
me
that-
and my kids and me watching your kid,
Yes.
so to speak, right?
So I think I've
you
always
holding
thought
on?
it was weird. Yeah, there was no point when I felt any different about her than I would have about my own flesh and blood.
Sure.
Okay.
And even to this
Fair
day,
enough.
when I think about her, a tear will come to my eye because I love that little girl so very much.
Right. She became
Yeah,
your
no,
kid.
there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I track with what you're saying, right? Because it's like, how could your parents be so dumb, right? Not necessarily for a toddler putting that in there because they're very inquisitive and
Sure,
curious.
yeah,
right?
you know.
But yeah, I mean, there's
Listen, if you're 30-year-olds aiming for the light socket,
Let 'em
I'd be
go.
like, no, let's see what happens.
that's right.
That one I'd watch.
right.
Be like, you dumbass, you didn't learn
There's
anything.
got to become. I mean, listen, I have undocumented stepson, basically. That I adopted. His mother's fucking Mother of the Year award. She's kicking him out. And, he went from troublemaker kid, father's gone, he's passed away, trauma with this kid, and then drugs, wrong crowd. I got involved. I feed him, I clothe him. I do anything and everything possible. I'm giving him work. And he's succeeding, and he's growing, and he's learning, and he's doing
support.
fantastic things. And for her, if financially it's not good enough for her, so she's just going to toss him on the street. So he's not my kid by blood,
I was gonna
but
say
he's
by
my
blood.
fucking kid.
Right.
And, so if Kent's kid, if I saw Colette or Lucy out there and I saw them doing something they shouldn't be doing, guess what I'm doing? I'm getting involved because Kent's my family, might not be my blood family.
Right.
Now, listen, I'm not a grandparent, but I'm old school.
Right.
And my kids, if they have kids, it's a big if they don't like what Grandpa does to try to save the lives of their children, too bad. That's my job. I'm not there to be the daily discipline or the, hey, this is how you're going to live your
Pass on
life.
your wisdom.
I am on the outside going and giving a little support to both sides, being like, listen, from an outside view, yes, don't do that. Or from an inside view, this is what I would have done, but you guys do what you got to do. I have no problem with that.
You
But
offer-
if I see
you
if
offer
it's
suggestions.
life-threatening,
Right.
if it's life-threatening or the van's pulling up to snatch somebody,
Doesn't matter who the
I
kid
don't
is.
care if I don't
who
even
the
know the
parent-
kid.
Right.
You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
It's Cappuccino in action.
You gotta do what's
You
right.
just see a flash of fat guy running across the street to try to do good.
I'm sitting back here in the production booth, and I can't get over how good you guys look. I mean, this.
I know. I usually bring that stardom to the table. I'm just kidding.
It's the
not
blush
true.
you've got on this
That's
morning.
not true.
This OBSBot Tail 2 that we
Yes.
got from OBSBot, and you can check them out at obsbot.com. These guys are revolutionizing live production. If you have a podcast or you shoot little film or anything like that, this thing has 12 times hybrid zoom. It's got next generation AI tracking. I mean, this thing is absolutely amazing. And we want to thank our friends out at OBSBot for giving this to us.
Shout out to Yang, a.k.a. Stefan.
And Millie.
And Millie
Yeah.
for giving us a camera and sponsoring
Where are they out of?
our studio. China.
Yeah.
Did you meet him at NAMM?
China.
Yeah, we met him at
Meet him
NAMM.
We met him out in Nam. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna tell you what this thing is. This thing is the coolest, easiest. All the controls are right here on the screen. I can zoom in, I can zoom out. It can do it automatically.
Yep. Voice interaction.
Nico told me to leave it alone, so I'm just
I don't know. If
Leaving it alone.
I don't know if he's got all that turned on, right? He doesn't want you messing with all that.
Here's
old
how you
man.
turn it on and leave it alone. I'm
Right.
like, all right, fair enough, Nico. I can do that.
We got you, Nico. He won't touch buttons.
But yeah, if you're looking for a camera, and they've got tiny ones, and we've been using ObsBot now for a few years, and we're partnering with them, and we appreciate their partnership. But this Tail 2, this ObsBot it's really
awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you guys look great on it.
You can
Well,
record audio
I
right
really
to it,
like
too.
what you said about the whole thing, right? Like with the kids, like if they're going to hurt themselves, I'll step in and say something. But if it's just something that's not going to permanently harm them or somebody else or whatever, let them learn their
What is-
natural consequence,
So,
right?
What is this weird fantasy you have of strangers' kids hurting themselves? How often has that ever happened to you in real life? No, because
Well,
like, I
watch it-
understand what
watch
you're
it-
saying. If in a weird
Right.
situation, a stranger's kid, like even the outlet
Well, like
thing,
he
how
said-
often does that actually ever happen? We've
Well,
all
not-
learned it as
no,
children.
but it's
We learned
something
it from
that's in your
cartoons.
head.
Nobody ever does it in a weird fantasy situation where it's about to happen directly in front of you, and you are the only adult. Yes, of course you have to step in, but that's never going to happen. It's a weird situation to think about.
You don't have to step in. You should step in,
I've
depending on
actually
how you were raised.
I've actually experienced that quite a few
Right.
times.
I've experienced some weird shit
We're
where I'll
not
tell a
all
kid not
smart
to do that
as
because you're really going to hurt
Italians,
yourself.
you know.
You know?
Listen, I got tons of little cousins, nieces, nephews. I have actually experienced that a lot. I guess it's hard to say that when you don't have that in front of you.
Are you
it's
watching those
easier to
kids?
say. Once in a while, I will.
Shayna.
You know, if they need it.
Well, I'm just
But-
wondering if you're watching the kids and responsible for their safety at that time.
Well,
Shayna-
no, not necessarily. It's if it's group setting or not, or if it's out. A lot of times when there's family gatherings, a lot of kids they just spread out throughout the neighborhood. They just go off.
Sure.
But if I'm out and I'm running for another ice run and I see something stupid, guess what? Yeah,
Step in.
yeah, I'm stepping in.
So
It's out of love.
Shayna,
It's not out of being a dick.
Shayna says I'm with Cap, and if you raise the kids without teaching them to read the audience, it's a horrid reality check. Yeah, you got to be able. Yeah, know you read the room, right? Be
Yeah,
able to-
yeah.
I
Use
know a
common
lot of-
sense.
I
I
know
know
a
it's
lot
not
of
common, but
adults.
try.
Right?
I know a lot of
You know,
adults who can't
That's a
read
whole,
the
that's a
room.
whole show in
Right.
itself.
And I guess too, and in Steve's defense, if you're not used to that or having to be, if that's not how your family does things,
Yeah.
it's easy to fall into that category too. I'm always outside the bounds of that. I don't care. I don't care if a parent doesn't like what I did to save their kid. I don't care. You don't have
did
to
what
like
you
it.
did what you thought
Right.
was right
Yeah.
at the
Right.
time,
Right.
and you know what, you can't find fault in that.
Is
And
it
if
a
they do,
lawsuit in today's society?
well, yeah,
Probably.
there's the
No,
difference.
I
There's
love
the
how
difference.
I love how you said at the same time you can't find fault in that, and he goes, "Is it a lawsuit?" Because yes, you absolutely can find fault
Well,
in
today-
it. It is
yeah,
a
today-
lawsuit.
you can-
That
you
is-
can find
that's
fault in
literally
everything.
finding fault
Correct.
legally.
No, it's up, but it's upon me to not. No, you're right though. But it's upon me to not care.
You have to make that
I don't
decision
care.
yourself.
Sue me.
Right.
He's alive. She's alive. Whatever.
But,
right?
But he's maimed.
What I think is happening, and I appreciate what everybody's saying, but I got to go with Steve. Is those instances are few and far between. It's not on a
It's
every
not a
time-
daily
right.
basis.
Right, and we're putting a lot of energy into that one thing, and Steve is right. You're going to make. I mean, there's no. I don't know any adults who want something bad to happen to a kid.
No.
Right? That's not the circle that I hang out with. Whatever. Right.
I hope
There
not.
could be. I mean, there's an island. Never mind. Anyway.
Stop it.
Anyway.
He's obsessed with
You
that
stop
shit.
it.
Anyway, where I mean, just understand what breakfast is on that island.
Listen, you're
killing me.
You're not going to do the daily. I'm sitting down doing your homework with you. You're not going to do the whatever the daily routine is and the life lessons that are learned by your parents. But as a grandparent, or even outside of that spectrum,
and I-
if you see something wrong, go after it and fix it. It doesn't.
Yeah. But I
regardless.
want to say this, and I really, I really wish Kels was here, because this is coming from 8 balls, right? I mean, we don't have any single mom or mother on this panel.
Did
right?
he say 8 balls?
Yeah, and
I don't get it. I just keep listening.
I don't.
That went right over my
I just
head.
nodded along.
He's just like, well, if Kelsey was
I
here,
thought he was
8
going to say
balls.
cue
That's all.
balls.
right.
I thought he was going to say cue balls because of the 2 bald
there's
guys
all guys
and 2
here,
other
right?
microphones.
So
Yeah.
there's 6 nuts sitting around there, and there's 2 nuts back here. That's 8 balls. So
Oh, wow.
it's a manly panel.
I was reaching on that one.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
And so the unfortunate thing is,
But Shayna is.
Yeah, Shayna's
people are
input,
reaching
and read
in.
what she
they're
says.
inputting.
right, but
We miss Kelsey. Don't get me wrong. but-
the point of view is coming from men, right? And it's a whole different point of view from women.
100%.
I'm not, and that's why I wish Kelsey was here to give us that perspective of, hey, as a single mom, right? Because I can't fathom what that would be.
So my mom could give you the perspective, but that's obviously very, very dated. There's nothing nothing that she's going to tell you about raising a kid that doesn't involve, avoiding lead paint.
why I love Steve.
So
Or actually getting to spank them to correct them.
Right.
Now you go to jail.
So, we were still using broken mercury thermometers when I was a kid. So,
Right.
my mom's not going to give you a perspective.
Tastes good.
Yeah, it
on
is.
the
Flavorful.
modern single
Those are
mother.
rectal.
Those are the rectal ones. You're not
Only if
supposed to
you're
put that in
lucky.
your mouth.
Yeah.
But think, man, that's a really good point, though. Is think what's how we were raised and what's acceptable to today. And you bring up, you might get sued, right? Like back in the day, most parents would be like, "Oh my God, thanks for not letting
I
little
can tell
Timmy
you-
kill
I
him,
can tell you
or
for
maim themselves."
The silliest of reasons. So my grandfather died on my dad's side way before I was born, and I met my grandmother. I barely remember her. She was a lunatic. But aunts, uncles, you name it. If it's picking the foil off of the ham as soon as it comes out of the oven, a metal spatula will come across the back of your head at full force. I come from a different world. So
Do as I say, not as I do.
right. And
Just because I said
Not
so.
necessarily the one Obama spoke about on the podcast.
It's because I said so, Drew.
Stop going on the peanut butter line, will you? You're killing me.
I know he's obsessed today.
But once again, though, those are old schoolers, right? And that's just how it was. And you were there to be seen and not heard, and there was a lot of that old school stuff. I don't really necessarily carry that forward, but I take pieces of that make sense.
You adapt to what you need.
Yeah, and I utilize it for whatever it's worth.
I mean,
Grandparents versus parents, and I, when I don't know the concept behind it or where Kelsey was going, but I know that sometimes as a parent, there are parents out there who get upset or jealous or whatever the case may be about the way the kid is excited to see grandma or grandpa, and then you spoil them and whatever, right? And then we send them back all sugared up and hopped up.
Oh,
right?
that's intentional.
Oh yeah, there is intentionality.
Gonna
to that.
get back at your kid, huh?
And it's not about to me it's not a versus thing. You know what I mean? As a grandparent, I cherish the time I got with whatever whether it's 10 minutes, whatever. But at the same time, if we're at their house and there's something going on, I don't hover the kid and be like, hey, I'm grandpa, right? I'm like, whatever. I'll sit here and if the little fella walks over to me and is like, hey, I'll be like, hey, buddy.
I'm bad enough as just an uncle because I am the guy. Don't invite me to a kid's first birthday party unless you want to get baby's first drum set because it's not my house. It's in your house.
That's right.
I'm getting your kid the most obnoxious toy on the planet because I don't have to deal with it, but you do.
I was going to say, and that's out of wanting to mess with the parent, or the friend.
It's literally just like I
That's
want
the
the
only
kid to
reason.
remember, and I want everyone to remember. Steve bought that,
So-
and everyone will remember when they
My-
confiscate it and hide it in the garage.
My brother-in-law has 5 kids.
What
right?
happened to that drum?
My brother-in-law has 5 kids, 4 girls, 1 boy. And when they would drive out from Indiana to come to the house, it was always chaos. They're South Side Italian kids. They're loud. They moved to Indiana. You would think that would have calmed it down. No. I love them all dearly. But they all come over. And then when they were really young, my wife and I would pre-make Ziploc bags of Pixie Sticks, gummies, M&Ms, stuff like that.
You're
And then
welcome.
we would take Dr. Peppers, cold Dr. Peppers, wrap them in the old foil, right? And we put them in like these little bags, and then that he couldn't see. And then for the trip home, it was snack.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
you're an
he
asshole.
he hated us every time.
But he still kept coming over.
Oh yeah, well yeah,
He knew it was
like-
gonna happen.
And we do it because it's him, right?
Right.
and it was too heavy.
There's a little bit of fun back and forth
God,
between you.
yeah. Now
which
they're
is
all
great.
older,
Which
yeah.
is great. You know, you got
But
that.
they
They'll
remember
remember
that
it.
too. They'll be like, "Hey, do you remember when
Yeah,
you guys
Uncle
used
Drew,
to?"
you always got us hopped up and got
it's-
us in trouble.
Look, your parents didn't have a clunk of ribbon candy that was dusty sitting in an ashtray out on an end table at home, but Grandma sure did.
When you grabbed one, the whole thing was stuck together.
You know, Grandma, you know, your parents don't have, you know, butterscotch.
I was going to say
frosted
butterscotch or the Werthers.
Yeah, just sitting on on an end table.
Yep.
But Grandma sure did. You know, what was it? Here's as we're wrapping up. What was it? Grandparent, right? Like my nanny, right? My mom's mom made these incredible, like thin, greasy, almost crepe-like pancakes, and it was like. Every time we were there, it's like, can you make pancakes? Can you make pancakes? Can you make pancakes? What was it? What was that when you went to your grandparents' house? Where you like, obviously, Steve is the candy store, but you know, what was it where it was like, I gotta have grandma's
Everything.
See, I didn't.
There
like I
was
said,
no-
I only saw my grandparents, like I said, 3 maybe 4 times a year, and that was usually always
Yeah.
a big, huge family gathering. So we always ate everyone's food. Like they'd come over and cook.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just being at Grandma's house, and they lived on a 180-acre farm, and we had Old Mill Creek that we could go play. So for me, it was just the freedom to do whatever I wanted with all my cousins. You know what I mean? Go get mischievous,
I get-
do stupid things. You know,
Yeah,
and just.
I think to answer your question though is so I barely remember grandma, but I remember certain things like her cookies, right? She was always homemade food. Always. If it's cookies, she made her own pasta, she made her own sausage, she used to, you know, dry her own meat for
Yeah.
you know, her own lunch meat, and I mean she did everything. So that passed on to my dad a lot. And then my dad would do that. And so and I lost my father too. So mom, dad are gone, and grandparents are gone. So I have all of that to be able to carry that on. So missing for them to do it, yes. Do I make it the same? You try every time, and it's never the same.
right?
So yes, just about everything in food though. I miss.
Yeah, see, that's that. Mine was just the interaction. I mean,
Do you
all
ever
of
go
our
by that farm?
Yeah, actually, every time I go back to Quincy, I will go by there because one of my cousins bought it and rented out. They sold most of the land, but it's literally a 2-bedroom farmhouse. They had 9 kids with, you know, the cellar upstairs, and they worked. You know, my mom moved out at 11 or 12.
Of course. I mean, with 9 kids. Right.
You got to.
But I mean, they worked in the field.
You got
You
a
know
whole
what I mean?
softball team.
What about you, Steve?
So my grandma's house, and it's so funny. Like it had a smell to it every time in the kitchen. So while I was,
The smell to it. Is that
so
good,
yeah,
bad,
so
or
she
different?
Had, so she had the candies everywhere, like you said. You know, there was the bowls of candies.
Why does it
there
smell
were the
like
not-
mothballs in
But
here,
no,
Grandma?
she would make coffee, and we would sit in the kitchen. And as a kid, I didn't drink coffee, but it always had a specific smell. And then I would eat, and as an adult, I tried to find that smell. I could not figure it out, and it was only until years later I realized my grandma was making like gross coffee crystals, like with the hot water on the stove.
yeah,
poured
instant
into-
coffee.
Yeah, just the instant coffee.
Oh, the
and
Senka,
yeah,
I
and
actually
that's
heard
why it
Folgers-
smelled that way.
Folgers,
Folgers
Senka,
crystals.
Taster's Choice.
Yeah, no,
Chock full of nuts.
Same thing. But my grandma would give me the coffee, so it'd be like 2 heaping scoops of sugar, 3/4. I mean, it was a latte, 3/4 of milk, and then just a splash of coffee because she was drinking coffee. But you couldn't drink grandma's.
Here's a weird thing:
special
does
orange
anybody's
juice.
grandparents ever do the hard-boiled egg in the coffee grounds?
Yes, yeah.
What does that do? Does anybody know?
It's supposed to separate the
bitterness or
yeah,
something?
bitterness, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Listen, we got to get out of here. Thanks again for starting your Friday out with us here. Big shout out to our good friends over at ObsBot for the beautiful view this morning with the ObsBot Tail 2. If you are looking at podcasting or doing anything of that nature and you need a good camera, check out obsbot.com. And our good friends over at Minuteman Press made some awesome basketball cards for my team. Check them out. Minuteman Press, Crystal Lake, Sam and her team are just fantastic over there. And of course, Kay loves Creative Mind. Check her out for any of that stuff too. And yeah, we got to get out of here. So enjoy
Thanks
the
for
day.
tuning in, guys. Remember to like, share, and subscribe with us. So watch all the good shows that 216 Creator Studios has to offer. And remember, go out there, guys. Be the change you want to see in the world. Thank you for tuning in every Friday. Have a great weekend.
Hey everyone, it's George Chase from Woodstock, Illinois. Wanted to give you a little follow-up on my journey with multiple myeloma and to let you know about the need for blood in our area. So I've learned along the way that only 3% of folks who are eligible to donate blood actually get out and do it. So we are holding a blood drive here right in our community at the Home State Bank location. It'll be Friday, March 27th, between the hours of 9 and 2. We hope to see you there. There is an urgent need for blood. And the great thing about the blood drive here is that it's going to be local. It's put on by the Rock River Valley Blood Center. All their donations are local. So when you donate, you're going to be giving blood to folks right here in our community. We call it the Woodstock Community Blood Drive. It'll be held Friday, March 27th from 9 to 2 at Home State Bank. And we want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Home State Bank, I3 Broadband, the Comparion Insurance Agency, Culvers of Woodstock, rapwithbo.com, of course, the Woodstock Area Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the folks here at 216 Creator Studios. Thanks again to Kent Jones and crew, and we look forward to seeing you on Friday, March 27th, between 9 and 2 at the Home State Bank.